Hello, my beautiful souls. I am Minerva's Moon, crone witch, shadow worker, and keeper of the old magic. Come in close. The circle is warm. Step in, breathe deep, and let the ancient wisdom rise within you. So, this is part 3 of signs that you will be noticing as you spiritually awaken. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2, that's okay. Whenever you get a chance, go back and take a look at them. They're really interesting. I also believe in divine timing. So if this video finds you, it's because this is the one that you needed to hear first before the other ones. But go back and take a look at those. All right, they'll be there. So one of the things you're going to notice, okay, as you spiritually awaken, is that you're going to be pulled almost magnetically into the present moment. Now, let me be clear about something before I continue. This does not mean that you're going to stop planning for the future, or that we are still going to be setting goals. We're going to be setting dreams, and we're still going to be preparing for our future. But we're going to do it with the understanding that the future is not guaranteed. That's the only difference. What is promised is this moment right now, this breath, this heartbeat, this exact now. And when you're spiritually awakening, you begin to feel the truth instead of just knowing it intellectually. You start living from the present rather than projection. You stop rushing into the next thing and start inhabiting the thing that's right in front of you. Another shift you're going to notice is that your sense of purpose becomes sharper, almost crystal clear. You start understanding what truly matters to you, where your energy actually belongs, what your soul has been whispering to you all along. And with that clarity comes the realization that you have been pouring your energy into things that don't feed you, didn't grow with you, doesn't align you, not even a little bit. Okay, but as you rise your frequency, you naturally are going to be redirecting your energy towards your values, your passion, your soul work. And that shit feels like freedom, like stepping into out of a costume that you didn't realize that you were wearing. Another thing you're going to notice during your spiritual awakening is that your passions are going to start rising to the surface, the real ones. Not the ones that you were taught to care about. No, the real authentic ones inside you. A lot of people tell me, but Minerva, I'm working from 9 to 5, and I really feel a passion about something else other than what I'm working on. But I don't know what to do about it. And I tell them the same answer to everyone, always the same thing. There is always something that you can do with your passion. Maybe it becomes your career, and that's the best case scenario. But realistically, we got to keep real. Maybe it doesn't, but you still have to stay with that passion. So maybe it becomes a side gig, or maybe it becomes a sacred hobby of yours. One thing that keeps your inner fire alive. Either way, you're meant to stay connected to it. Remember that. Don't shy away from it. And I know some of you might be thinking, but I don't even really know what my passion is. I don't know what my soul purpose is. And that is such a legit question or feeling, And it's part of the process. It's part of the journey. Just continue doing your shadow work. Just continue doing your spiritual awakening, and it will come to you. We could also speak about this, how we can tap into our soul purpose, or how can we learn or know what it is, but we could do that in another video. As you awaken, you also start feeling a deeper connection to the world around you. You realize that you're not separate from it. We are part of a living tapestry. Your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, they're threads that are woven into something much bigger. And with that awareness comes gratitude. Everything becomes sacred. Everything becomes meaningful. You don't live like a robot anymore, Even this chair, the chair that I'm sitting on, for example, it's part wood, part fabric. It comes from nature. A tree lived, grew, and offered itself so that I can sit here to speak to you. That kind of awareness, that's awakening. You start seeing the spirit in everything, and your gratitude for all and everything is it's heightened. You also feel pulled towards nature, the real one. You want to learn more about wildlife. You want to live more sustainably. You want to grow your own herbs, fruits, vegetables, flowers, even if it's just in a one pot on the windsill. Let me tell you a story. Back in 2020, yeah, that's when the pandemic started, okay? Then we all had to be quarantined, right? And the quarantining started. Yes, I think I just made up a word, quarantining. Either way, we were forced to be in solitude, right? And a lot of people felt depressed, disconnected, but I can honestly tell you that I lived my best life during that time. I had no rules. I had no schedules. I had no rushing. I slept when I was tired. I ate when I was hungry. I let my day unfold naturally the way it wanted to be, the way naturally. And my garden, oh my goddess, my garden was the most beautiful had ever been. Roses were blooming. Tomatoes were growing. I had green peppers. I had red peppers. I had onions. I even had this tiny little carrot that I was ridiculously proud of, even though it was only like 2 inches long. But I was proud. I was my best life, let me tell you. And mind you, I don't have land. Everything was in pots, okay? All I have is a patio outside. But it didn't matter because the magic still happened. You don't need acres of land to grow something. No excuses. You don't need a greenhouse. You don't need a backyard. You could grow herbs in a single pot inside your home. Now, in part 4, we're going to be discussing the shifts towards simplicity and your inner clarity, the deepening of your empathy and intuition, the power of dreams and spiritual guidance, the rays of authenticity, truth, and curiosity, and the courage to walk your path as your true self. Well, my friends, as the circle closes, carry your awakening and your magic with you. Awaken your soul and honor the craft and walk in your power. As above, so within. As within, so becomes. Blessed be, my beautiful ones. I'll see you next time. Bye.